First things first, you need to get an elite physique. And if you take everything else from this video away, this is probably the number one most no-brainer thing you can do to become a top 1% man. Because think about it. All of the other stuff, you don't do it, but you just do this. You just get the strongest, most aesthetic physique that you can possibly get. That is already better than 99% of men, trust me. And you really want to build the kind of body where other people turn their heads. And now this picture was in Saint-Tropez in the south of France. And I've had this many times. Many times. I was in beach clubs in different places. And I've had literally girls and guys turn their heads and actually be like, who the fuck is this guy? I've had guys come up to me and being like, bro, I fucking respect it. Awesome body. You also get compliments from guys, and you really don't have the luxury of not being in shape. Because think about it. If you want to be with that 10 out of 10 dream girl, now maybe you don't, but if you're watching this video, you probably have higher standards than most guys. Well, would this woman be attracted to the body you have today? And if the answer is no, or not 100%, you're not there yet. And that's okay. Now, I'll share with you the no BS game plan that worked for me. So you'll find a million, 20-hour videos on YouTube on how to count your macros, all that stuff. This is not the video for this. But this is the simplest way to achieve an aesthetic physique, and that has worked for me and honestly a bunch of my friends. You work out 4 to 5 times a week. You do strength training, and you do an actual split. Okay, so what that means is, for example, on Monday you do legs, on Tuesday you do back, on Wednesday you do shoulders, on Thursday arms. All you want to do is be consistent. You want to have a system that you can consistently and predictably follow over months and years. And you want to do cardio 2 to 3 times a week just for your overall health. And also because I'm into kickboxing, I'm into fighting, that kind of stuff. And, people will say cardio does not help with your physique. I don't fully agree because, why would you not want to be more athletic, more shredded? I definitely believe that, being capable to run long distances will make your body more aesthetic. And you want to eat clean, right? You just want to cut out all of the sugar, the processed food, the alcohol. You want to sleep well, 8 hours per night. And you want to do that for at least 2 years. Now, I know, that means there's going to be a lot of work. Yes, that's the whole point. This is why most guys don't win. It will be work. But in my opinion, 2 years is really where you are going to see crazy results. Now, are you going to see results after 3 months, 6 months? Yeah, definitely. But I'm talking about that really aesthetic physique takes minimum 2 years. That's just the no BS answer. Now, the second thing is you want to become fucking interesting. And you see this meme sometimes, me crushing on every medium ugly guy that is funny. And there is some truth to that because a boring man is to women what an ugly woman is to men. Think about it. A lot of these girls you talk to, they have a boring AF life. Everything in her life is boring. From the university she goes to, her friends are boring, her mom is boring, the school she goes to, her work is boring, her boss, nothing is exciting in her life. Do you want to add on to that? Do you want to approach her in a way that just confirms that you're another boring thing in her life? No. Be different. And you know the saying, girls just want to have fun? I think there's this song, because girls just want to have fun. I fucking love that song. But girls just want to have fun. So why would you not give them what they want, right? And you become fun, you become interesting by expanding your world, by expanding your horizon. And there's many different ways to become more interesting. Now, one of them is you want to travel as much as you possibly can, right? Because by traveling, you will, whether you want to accept that or not, you will face some problems and you will be forced to be resourceful and communicate with people. I got my backpack stolen in a bus in in Mexico. So I was actually staying at the time in Cancun. And for those of you guys who know, I wanted to go to Playa del Carmen with one of my girls. And because I was an idiot, I basically left my bag in the bus. And for some reason, I just left the bus for like a second to like get the ticket. And I forgot my bag. Now, I shouted at the driver, everything. He didn't stop because, it's Mexico. So a few minutes later, we're like calling everybody. We're calling like the bus thing. We're even calling the local police to possibly help, but they can't do shit. The bag was already gone, and I had my laptop. No, I didn't have my laptop. I had some money in it, but that's stuff that happens. And so I didn't have money, and I didn't have my passport for at least 2 weeks. So I had to go to the embassy. I had to make stuff happen. And that is just typical stuff that can happen when you travel, right? Or another thing is when this picture you see here, like on the right, this was in Costa Rica, and I did not have an apartment for like a few days for some reason because my Airbnb, he canceled on me. And so I had to find a place to stay, but I had no money. So I met this German guy at the airport, and I speak German, so we chatted in German, we vibed. And he was so cool that he offered me to stay in his place for 3 nights, which saved my ass. He even paid like dinner for me, and he was super cool. I made a friend and had shelter, right? And that is stuff that can happen when you are social, when you're cool with people, and travel will do that for you. Now, being out of your hometown and having an excuse can be a really good excuse to be someone you're not, because back when I was in Switzerland, I really had this identity that I was a certain type of person, and I was shy, whatever. But when you're out of your hometown, when you're in a totally different country, you really have that excuse. You have that almost authorization to be a totally different person. So I think traveling is one of the absolute best things you can do when you're young. Now, the next thing you want to do is develop your intellect, because intelligent men are extremely sexy to women. This has been studied that intelligence is one of the most attractive character traits. Like it consistently ranks as one of the highest when it comes to attraction that women have for men. And intelligence, when you really think about it, in a woman's mind, it means if he's smart, well, he can take care of my offspring. He can actually make stuff happen. Like our kids are not going to die. So it is very sexy. And a way to just become more intelligent is to read books. This is just one, picture. I actually have a shitload of books. I probably have like 100, books on communication, psychology, personal development, finance, business, marketing. And it's just a great way because books are just a condensed source of information that other guys, other men took their entire life to write them, and you can read their condensed work in basically a day, which is insane to me. And you also can learn different languages. Learning different languages is really a hack. Now, I speak 7 languages. As you can tell, I speak English. Wie du verstehst, kann ich auch Deutsch reden. I speak German. Tu peux l'entendre, je parle parfaitement français. Como lo entiendes, hablo español. Podemos hablar español. I do speak Spanish. 我会说中文吗? I do speak some Chinese because I studied Mandarin in school, and then, I continued. I'm learning Korean right now. So I do speak a few languages, and that has definitely helped me in my life, whether it was for networking or with meeting women or even with meeting friends, right? Now, if you don't want to learn different languages, learn English. Like one crazy thing I see is a lot of, English is not my native language, but a lot of people think it is. And the reason why is because I studied the language so much, right? I read so many books. I watched so many podcasts. I constantly tried to analyze and better and improve my vocabulary. So a lot of people who speak English don't actually speak English, which is mind-blogging, right? And as I said, travel, right? You want to travel. So the next thing is you want to learn how to fight. Now, you don't need to become a professional boxer. That's not what I'm saying. But you must be able to defend yourself in any situation. If you're with your girlfriend or with your wife or with your daughter, future daughter, and somebody comes up and fucks with you, what are you going to do? Just run away? You can't. You have people to protect, right? So it is really not difficult to be better than 80% of men at fighting. Like, you need to realize that most men suck. Like, they have no clue whatsoever. They can't throw a jab. They can't defend stuff. Like they have no ability whatsoever to defend themselves. And if you dedicate yourself for 3 to 6 months, for a few hours a week, you will already be far ahead of most men, ahead of 90% of guys. And those are my preferred sports because they include striking. And typically, when it comes to self-defense in real life, you want to be able to strike. Striking means you want to be able to throw something, whether it is your arms, your legs. Now, boxing, classic, it's very effective. You can do kickboxing or Muay Thai. So I trained Muay Thai for quite some time in Thailand. I did some kickboxing before that. And obviously, you can do MMA. I do not recommend MMA in the beginning just because MMA is extremely complete. So maybe you want to take more time in the beginning to learn either boxing or kickboxing with more detail and then transition into MMA. I mean, that is up to you. But you want to pick one, do something, and just commit a few months of your life to being better than most guys. Now, the fourth thing is you want to become a social machine. Now, I don't know why this picture was taken with a Nokia phone. The quality is just absolutely horrible. But the easiest way to outcompete every gym bro and every entrepreneur is to develop elite social skills. How many guys do you know who are in great shape? And how many guys do you know who are in shape and have money? Now, how many guys do you know who are in shape, have money, and have social skills? Not that many. Not that freaking many. And you want to become that guy. Trust me, you want to become that guy. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself. How many girls have you talked to in public in the past year? And when I say talk to, I don't mean the girl you're chatting with on Tinder. I don't mean when you're drunk, when you're under the influence in a club. I mean, in a confident and polite manner during the day, how many girls did you talk to in the past year? And if the answer is lower than 10, you're not talking to enough women. You're not refining your social muscle enough. Being able to talk to anyone in any situation is probably one of the things that changed my life the most and is the ultimate hack to live your best life as a man. I met my 3 previous girlfriends by talking to them in public. I met a lot of guys who I still do business with by meeting them in public. That's crazy. Like whether it was in a pool, in a jacuzzi, whether it was on the street, whether it was in a gym and I connected with guys, you never know. If you're in places like Bangkok, Dubai, or London, you can be in some high-end gyms, high-end hotels, and you need to know how to talk to people because you can meet absolutely great people who can be beneficial to your life. And along the way, the character traits you will develop will just make you so much more attractive. Because to be very good socially, you need to be able to face your fears. You need to be able to have great communication skills, work on your voice, work on your intonation, work on your looks, your appearance, your first impression. You need to work on your social calibration, your emotional management. You need to know how to make people feel comfortable. All of these are skills, and it takes time to build them. Now, the fifth thing is you want to make a lot of money. Money is, thanks Johnny, is the multiplier that will take your life to the absolute next level or make you a mega loser if you're already a loser. And this is why you must become the man first. I can't stress this enough. Money will allow you to have absolute freedom over your time and actions. You'll be able to travel whenever you want. You'll be able to buy some Dior bags, even if that's not that cool. Trust me, like you do it 1 time, 2 times, and there's only so much stuff to buy, right? You can work in your business without slaving away at a 9 to 5. You can pay everything for your family, your friends, your girlfriends. But again, you must become the man first, because none of that will have value. You'll just be a mega dork who now has money. Like, do you really want to be that guy? You'll still not be respected. And this is why I tell young guys, the best way to develop into a man who's worthy of money is to first work on your fitness, work on your social skills, work on other things not money related. And the sixth thing is become an elite networker. Now, there's three things you need to keep in mind, and they're just like golden rules. You can't break them. The first one is you never want to pedestalize people you network with, because in every social dynamic, in every social interaction, there's always a power dynamic. And the person who's more reactive to the other is of lesser value. You never want to see them as better than you. They can be better than you, but you don't want to communicate that in a very clear way, right? Because it shifts the power dynamic. Now, the second thing is you need to learn when to shut the fuck up. And this is a lesson I had to learn the hard way, because I used to be in a lot of rooms with high quality, high value guys who made way more money than me, who were way more advanced in in their career, in the things that we're doing. And I would just talk too much. And it was not impressive to them, because some of these guys, they're 10, 15, 20 years older than you, and they just had more time in the trenches than you. So don't make yourself look like a clown, and learn to be humble in the right rooms, in the right moments. This is a very important skill. Now, the third thing is you must have an elite online presence that is polished, right? Because these guys, how are you going to contact them again? Now, of course, you can just get their number, their WhatsApp, their Telegram. You can do that. But in my opinion, building an elite personal brand, you don't need 1 million followers, but just an Instagram where you can actually get them to see your lifestyle. You can connect with them, here and there, I think is super, super beneficial. And again, let me know, guys, if you like this video, and let me know in the comments if you want me to talk about something very specific, and I'll make sure to do that next time. Thank you, guys.